Hey y'all, it's Tiara back with another episode, and I have another message for y'all. I hope everybody has been good. I hope whatever anyone is going through, you squeeze out any and all positivity from any situation. There's a lot going on in this world right now, every inch of this world. There's a lot of highs, there's a lot of lows. There's a lot of lows that you can still squeeze out the positives from. And I do feel like there's an uproar going on, spiritually speaking, right now. And I have a message for everybody, a download from Mother, Father, God, a download from my guardian angels, a download from what I've been experiencing personally and collectively. And the title of it is very fitting. So the message I have is isolation is healthy. Let them speculate. And yeah, for me, isolation is a must. Now, I've gone through isolation where it wasn't so healthy, where I would be overly to myself, or more like a hermit, not really going out, not talking to nobody. But it's gotten to a point where I can integrate, where I can, isolate for the right reasons. Not isolate out of fear, but isolate in a way where I'm conscious and aware of how I move, who I'm around, what energy I'm entertaining, what room I'm entering in, for how long, and what the fuck am I doing there? So I wanted to share that with you guys because a lot of humans have the tendency to isolate out of fear and worry and concern, which I definitely understand because I've been there. I've had tendencies, I've had residue of it. And then when I look at that, when I look at the shadow aspect of that, right, I understand that it's important for me to know how to go out into the world, not be a big old crybaby about it all, and just know how to navigate people with all types of personalities and all types of levels of evolution, from work to family, friends, etc., strangers, whatever. And I've been getting comments on that where people are coming up to me in an explicit way or subtly, and they say to me, well, what are you doing? Haven't seen you in a long time. Or why are you so quiet? Are you shy? Just really gauging me, asking me straight up to understand why I've been moving the way I've been moving. Because if people are naturally out there and they're wanting to be amongst the world, they're wanting to be around all types of energies, all types of people, all types of rooms, no matter what, for the sake of just being out there, for the sake of being validated or being known, it's gonna be a natural question for them to ask me personally, what are you doing? Do you want to join in? Do you want to be amongst? Do you want to be around this? Rightfully so, they're allowed to ask that question. Just as much as I'm allowed to decline that invitation. So I'm very much so at this point in my life, I don't want to say strict, but I'm very much so aware and in tune and careful when it comes to my energy and how I show it, and who has the privilege of actually being around it, because not everyone has the privilege of being around me. And some people are gonna look at that and be like, well, she thinks she's all that, or like she's uppity or whatever. I disagree about the uppity part, but hell yeah, I am all that. Even on my so-called worst days, even in my days where I feel bummy as hell, or in the days where I feel like I don't feel that pretty or whatever, I am still all of that in a fucking bag of chips. Trust me, I understand my juice and my sauce. And this is why I cannot be around every fucking body all the fucking time, no matter what, because that shit is draining. That shit is not for me. That was the older version of me, a version of me that that was the old me where I wanted to be around everybody and be at every party and every gathering and every outing, no matter what and who and when and how, and it didn't matter. Like, I was out there, I was in these streets for these streets. But now I'm at a point in my life where I'm just careful, I'm cautious, I'm observant, I'm discerning, and that helps tap into a real authentic version of myself instead of being out there for the sake of so-called fun, for the sake of being known, to have friendships with just anybody. I like to observe, not in a hyper vigilant type of way where it's hindering my growth, but in a healthy sense, because of what I've gone through, because of the experiences I've had, because not everybody was really worth having my friendship like that. I'm careful, I'm cautious. There's wisdom behind it. That discernment is the key indicator between who's really worth being around my energy and who's not. And that's integrating light and darkness to understand that whole situation, that whole process of what does friendship really mean to me, and how do I value my time and my energy? Because there are a lot of vampires out there. That's just who they are. That's what they're meant to do. That's the version of them that is supposed to exist at this point in time. And my duty, my sense of existence, is understanding that vampires are not meant to be in my life. And if I were to entertain somebody who's in that process of exuding vampireness, I am there to help them understand that I do not tolerate that, because I have wonderful boundaries. And if they transcend and understand that and get with the program, then we can talk it out. But if they don't understand that and they want to still be what they think they are and be a hater, be a manipulator, be a gaslighter, and just try to suck my energy from me, then that's not the interaction for me. I'm all set. I gotta go with love, with grace. I gotta go with me being real and in your face. I gotta go. As long as you get the fucking message, I just gotta go. But so much love in my heart while being honest. So yeah, isolation is definitely necessary. Isolation is how you really zone in on who you really fucking are meant to be in this world, and processing and healing, looking at the very layered versions of you to understand you before you let anybody else try to tell you who you are, right? So don't be, well, you can do whatever you want, but I advise people to not get so down and out on themselves when people are telling them, oh, you're so shy, or oh my God, like you don't do nothing, oh, you're boring, or like whether explicitly in your face or subtly trying to like give a shot or like jab you with that shit in a jokey way or in a like a blunt way or a cruel way or a hater type of way. Whatever the fuck the case is, it's still the message that they're giving you. And it's understanding that this is meant for you to know who you are and what you're going to stand 10 toes in. Are you going to sway based on what people are saying and really take to heart what people are saying and base who you are based on what people are saying about you? Or are you going to really stand 10 toes in your own square and do you anyways, because this is your healing process and you're meant to take certain steps in your life so that you can fully live out your authenticity and live out what you are assigned to do in this lifetime? It's your choice. It's everybody's fucking choice. And some people don't understand that they might be envious of you or jealous of you or being a hater because they are not really able to do that in this particular season of their life. So when they see that demonstrated outside of themselves because you're doing it flawlessly? Are you doing it authentically? Or are you doing it in a very easy going type of way? Are you like, how the fuck are you still standing tall and doing your shit? And people are like amazed at that you're okay with being alone to do you and not really giving a fuck. That can make someone feel a type of way. It can also be very inspiring to people, and it can be both all in one. So don't feel discouraged that you're doing what's best for your soul's evolution. Don't feel like you have to be out there for just anybody and everybody, and let everybody and anybody get up in you and around you and in your space and in your vicinity for the sake of being seen and validated and so-called loved and liked. I ain't got time for that fake bullshit. I ain't got time to just radiate for just anybody. Radiate for you. Radiate from a good space. Radiate because it's genuinely who you are. Now, there's a challenge there. The challenge is knowing how to take some healthy risk as well. I'm not saying be chaotic and be reckless as fuck and not care about your energy and just go out there, right? I'm saying take what you learned on this journey thus far, right? Honor where you are in your process. Take what you've learned in your isolation and apply it out into the outside world when you are in these spaces that you want to join in on. When you are interacting and getting to know other people, strangers, right? When you are dating people, when you are befriending people, when you are having acquaintance type relations with people, take what you learned in your isolation and apply it to the outside world. Don't sway and change when you're out there, but then be this other person in your room, in your four walls, right? Take who you are and stay in that when you're out and amongst the world. And the correct people will gravitate towards you. The people who have the most resistance towards you are not really meant to be around you like that, if at all. And that's what I've been learning on my journey. The more authentic that I am, that makes people speculate and be skeptical and be weird and fucking just crazy towards me, those aren't my people. But for the people who are curious, for the people who are still kind and compassionate towards me without judging me, right? Without being a hater. But they, maybe they're not at my level yet because they're not as tapped in, but they're curious enough and also compassionate and kind. Those are the people that are also still my people because they see something within me that resonates with them that makes them want to level up as well. Because I'm not going to always meet people who are exactly at my level, but I will meet people who are curious from a good space in their heart. And then I'm also going to attract motherfuckers who are more cold and disconnected, and all they want to do is judge. All they want to do is just be like, damn girl, and da-da-da-da. Like, your life is just hella boring and isolated. Good. Ain't for you. Leave me the fuck alone. Because I value peace over everything. I value my joy, my happiness over anybody. I don't give a fuck how long I've known you. I don't give a fuck how much history we've shared. I don't give a fuck if you told me you love me 100 times and then gave me an ass to kiss 200 more times. If I understand that we are on two different frequencies and you are very comfortable with disrespecting me and belittling me, you are not my people. Period. I used to think you were, but that shit was definitely a facade, and I was under the spell and the impression that you were something that you are not because you had 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 months, years of showing me a level of you that wasn't fully genuine because the mask ripped off as soon as you couldn't get your way with me. Those are not your people. Those are people you thought were your people. Those are people who were tests for you to understand who you truly are so that you can move the fuck on and understand what you deserve to attract is the higher frequency of abundance and divinity. Let's not lie to ourselves. It's okay to understand that we weren't always correct. Our agenda has been what it was. And it's better to understand that we were living a fake ass life prior to when we were actually awakening to where we are right now. When we stop lying to ourselves, when we stop trying to be perfect and right, then we can understand that in the past, we were really swooped up and bamboozled and having a hidden agenda to try to project that into the world as if we don't make any fucking mistakes. Love has very much so a lot of layers to it. But what we demonstrate towards people can become evolved. But it takes you and that other person to be authentically aware with ourselves and where we are within ourselves. If we aren't honest about the flaky ass version of love we had before and how that really isn't fucking love to begin with, then we can't move on to really show a real love in the future with other people. I'm sorry to it's just the truth. Like there's real love and then there's fake love. And then there's like a very, very, very core deep love that maybe we haven't really tapped into, but it's there and it's God given and it's innately just there. It's never destroyed. It's never faded. We don't really know how to show that until we're aware of who we are. So if we're very much so comfortable with disrespecting people, if we're very much so comfortable with belittling people, if we're very much so comfortable with being a dickhead towards others, then you're not really loving them. You're just not. I'm sorry to say, like, it's better for you to get a grasp on that shit now so that you don't unconsciously repeat that shit later towards other people. And a lot of times you do need to isolate yourself in order to be real with yourself. And it's gonna fucking hurt because it's supposed to hurt. We're supposed to feel our feelings in the darkness so that we can truly understand, damn, I fucked up, or damn, I was living a life of lies and, not really being honest with myself about what I want in this life and adjusting myself to fit the needs of other people. We've all been there, done that. It's just a matter of us understanding if we want to continue doing that bullshit. Which you don't deserve to continue that bullshit. I don't deserve to continue that fucking bullshit. Not at all. And I don't say that, again, I say this on pretty much every episode. I'm not saying I'm holier than thou. There are still a lot of things I'm here to master. I've sat on every seat of the fucking table. I've been very toxic. I've also allowed people to be toxic towards me. I've been very dysfunctional. I've also allowed others to be dysfunctional towards me. I've treated myself poorly. Therefore, I allowed other people to treat me poorly. A reflection of what I entertain in a spouse and in a friend and in a manager was always reflected back to me based on how I treated myself on the inside. Whether I was very explicit about it or I was subconsciously thinking about it and repeating patterns and thoughts of low vibrational things within myself. It showed up on the outside over and over again. So because I'm able to say that out loud, because I'm able to make peace with that more and more every single day, I'm attracting a higher version of what I deserve into my experience by healing, by being honest, by being okay with not being correct all the fucking time, and really exposing my hidden agenda, because that's what it was. And that's a learning, that's a conditioning from childhood, generations of bullshit, right? Until you wake up, you plant a different seed, you break the cycle of nonsense, and you do differently than what your parents and your grandparents did. So don't fret, my dears. If you need to fucking isolate, do it. If you need to do it in a way that other people around you are not aware of or haven't seen it demonstrated to that degree, Who gives a fuck? Do it for you, because that's all you should really do it for to begin with. Let them speculate. Let them overanalyze. Let them wonder if you like them or not. Who gives it? You like you. You're learning how to like you better. You're learning your likes and your dislikes. You're healing. You're crying. You're stomping and screaming in your pillows. You know what I'm saying? You're being creative. You're outpouring whatever the fuck needs to be poured out so that you can function in this world of so much dysfunction. It's gonna make people around you uncomfortable. It's going to also inspire other people to want to look within themselves. It's going to give a lot of different responses, and that's okay. Other people are not your concern. You are your one and only concern. Let them be confused. Let them feel away. Let them wonder and ponder, right? For you and yourself, your soul's evolution, your beingness, you deserve to do what's best for your process. You've been through a lot of fucking trauma. Your parents have been through a lot of fucking trauma. You know, maybe you're dealing with financial things. Maybe you're dealing with partnership things. Maybe you're dealing with your health, right? And as soon as you zone in and understand that your money could look a lot fucking better, your home could look a lot better, your peace could look a lot better, your friendships could look a lot better, then you gotta do what's best for you to get your shit together. It's gonna feel good sometimes, and a lot of times it's not gonna feel good. And that's okay. That's the journey. That's being real. That's integrating. That's allowing yourself to have the space to see all of that, right? So if you're worrying about what a motherfucker really has to say about you, I get it. I've been there. I've wanted to cry in the bathrobe and hide away and be like, oh my God. And, you know, it happens to all of us. But then you wake up, you remind yourself, you pinch yourself, you give yourself a hug, and you say, everything's going to be okay. It's all right. It was just a trigger. It was just a little test for you to master and zone in and clock in and lock in and fucking just allow yourself to be. You're not for everybody, because if you were for everybody, then you're not really being your authentic, true fucking self. You're not supposed to be liked by many. When you really are being yourself, when you really are understanding your boundaries and zoning in on that, when you're really honest with you, you're not loved and liked by the majority. I just gotta be real with you. And some people are not okay with that. I used to not be okay with that at all. I hated it. But now I'm at a point where it's like, yeah, I would love to, you know, welcome people and have them feel my warmth and all this other stuff. And it's great. But, you know, I'd rather be to myself or be around the right people, right? With the frequency that matches mine, versus being in a room full of people where it's draining. And the only reason why it's draining is because we're on different frequencies. I don't want to waste my breath. I don't want to waste my energy. And it's not necessarily a waste. It's more like it's not worth it to me fully. You're going to get something out of that maybe 10 years down the line if they value my presence. But if they don't value my presence and they're just sitting there being a hater, then I gotta go. You're not the space for me. I'm not attracted to users, abusers, toxic ass people who are very comfortable belittling me and putting me down and judging me and overly criticizing. Those are not my people. And I'm not here to fix nobody. I'm not here to prove nothing to nobody. I'm not here to validate anything. Like, I don't need the validation for anything. I validate myself. The people who match that are meant to be in my existence on a more consistent, close proximity type of way. And for those who are looking for some sort of insights on what to do if they find themselves being triggered, or they're finding themselves feeling even more isolated, like they really want to be to themselves. Excuse me. They really want to be to themselves because the outside just seems so like too much. This is the insight I have for you guys. You could take it, you can leave it, do whatever you want with it. It's up to you. Be comfortable with being uncomfortable. And the only way you can really zone in on being comfortable with being uncomfortable is meditating, right? Being in your own little hut. It could be a room, it could be the gym with your ear pods on, it could be being at a cafe to yourself. Do something that requires you to be alone. And then as soon as the thought comes in of like, do they like me? Do I make them feel away? Do I look welcoming enough? Do I blah, 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 right? Like all these thoughts come through. Am I not being friendly enough? Am I being open enough? Maybe I should do this so they can see that I like them, blah, 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 right? Or that I'm likable. As soon as those things come in, once you're doing the isolating activity, right? And you wonder these things, observe the thought that you just had that was trying to be disruptive. Give the thought love and say, that's interesting. That's so fucking interesting that thought just came in. And then start to name things, intentionally name things out loud or within your head, all the beautiful things that are coming out of you choosing to isolate. It could be, I'm choosing to isolate, and that's beautiful because I'm learning what I like and what I don't like. I'm choosing to isolate, and that's beautiful because it's allowing me to zone in on my boundaries. Perfect. I'm choosing to isolate, and that's beautiful because I'm learning how to enjoy my own company without being validated for anything. I'm choosing to isolate, and that's beautiful because I enjoy and value my personal relationship with the God within. It could be a simple sentence like that, and just repeat all of those things to yourself to the point where you're embodying it and you're exuding it, and you will be so fucking magnetic that whenever you walk into a room, people are going to be very curious about the energy, and it radiates and resonates with the people who are struggling with that. And it's a momentum and a domino effect to the point where people can also do that for themselves. This life isn't just for you and about you. It's about the collective. But everything starts and begins and ends with you. Because you have this one body temple in this life of many lives. And you are here for a particular assignment. So it starts with you. You're not doing it to make someone change. You're doing it so that you can change yourself. That's what I do on a daily. As soon as the thoughts come in that, try to provoke doubt and worry and scarcity and lack and wondering what someone is feeling or thinking about me. If someone wants me to know what they're thinking or feeling about me, they're going to say it. Or they're going to show it. And it's up to me to discern to know what to do with that after. Besides that, until then, I'm focusing on myself. That's all I really care to do because I'm responsible for how I show up in this world and how I show up for myself. So try that. Try that if you feel it resonates with you. Enjoy your isolation. Be healthy about it. Don't do it because you're scared. Do it because you're happy to enjoy you and to get to know you, get to know the spirit that you are. Tap into the godliness within. Have fun being alone And then also defining what real fun looks like for you so that when you go into the world, it resonates when you meet people and you're not forcing yourself to do shit that you really don't want to fucking do for the sake of keeping motherfuckers in your life that aren't really meant to be in your timeline because they're not meant to be in your timeline. Stop playing small for the sake of company. Every yes that you get from somebody isn't always supposed to be in your experience. You're not supposed to say yes to everything or to everybody. You're supposed to discern. You're meant to discern. You have that God-given ability to discern, to tap into your intuition, to use your intuition, to honor your boundaries, to value your energy. I do not put anyone above the love God gives me. So therefore, it's worth asking the question, why have you allowed yourself to put other people's love above God's love? Because as soon as you're doing that, you're creating suffering for yourself. As soon as you allow people to be that comfortable to disrespect you without taking accountability, without saying a genuine sorry, which also follows up with change, you're creating your own suffering by entertaining people who've been in your life for decades. That's a long time. What's the hidden agenda behind that? You've been given symbols and signs and demonstrations as to why certain people need to exit your experience. It's good to starve certain interactions so that motherfuckers actually get that you mean business. You stand on business. You stand on your 10 toes in your motherfucking square. And you're not swaying for nobody for the sake of appeasing and pleasing and keeping the peace and not rocking the fucking boat and hanging on to what was and hanging on to what they were and the fake bullshit that they tried to be that they really are not like that, because if they genuinely were like that, they still would have been that shit now. It was a fake facade. It was a mask. It was a performance. They didn't even know they were fucking doing it because they were too identified with their ego to even understand that. But you can see right through that shit because you've done the shadow work, and it required you to be real with yourself and your own fake ass performance. When you're real about your fake ass performance that you've demonstrated for months, weeks, years with this person, that person, the third, you are able to see everyone else's bullshit through shadow work, through honesty, through speaking to your guardian angels, and actually listening to what spirit has to say to you. But no. A lot of people don't want to look at that, because if they look at that, then they have to come to terms with the fact that they've been living a fake ass life for years, months, with the same fucking people. And then it makes them feel stupid. It makes them feel like, oh my God, like I don't want to be wrong. Like, oh no, like maybe they, no. As soon as we are real with ourselves, we stop tolerating bullshit outside of ourselves. We don't have room, the capacity to deal with not an ounce of nonsense. And that doesn't mean we're heartless. That doesn't mean we don't have compassion for people. It means what we value the most is the compassion towards ourselves. We're not abandoning ourselves here. We don't have time for that, right? We don't have time for that. And if you do have time for that, then that's just the karma you're meant to play out until you realize you deserve better. Isolation is healthy, y'all. Isolation is what gets us to the point of waking the fuck up level to level to level. It's like a game until we realize I'm winning and I deserve to win. I deserve to level up. Macro and micro cannot be in the same vicinity for too fucking long, physically speaking. But in other dimensions, yes, it's very possible for that to happen spiritually. But this is why we say, I can pray for your ass. I send out love to you. But are you invited to my house? Hell fucking no, because you don't know how to act. You think you're going to come into my home and disrespect me? Hell no. And if you try to, and you don't take accountability, and you do the same shit every few weeks, what are you really fucking learning? And how does that reflect my own self-love? It does. It shows a lot. It reveals a lot. Until you get sick and tired of being sick and tired of someone's nonsense and stop making excuses for people and stop trauma bonding and sticking to the story of what you thought once was when it really wasn't what you thought it was. You're just being delusional. We've all been there. I'm not judging you. I'm not speaking holier than thou. I'm just being honest, because sometimes you just got to say shit straight like that in order for things to register. We are in a time in this world, in this entire universe, where things are shifting and we have a choice to make. Do you want to go through the same old bullshit for another 10-ish years? For another 5 fucking months? It's up to you. Whatever karma you want to play out, that's up to you. It can be high vibrational karma. It could be low vibrational karma. But your spirit is going to tell you. It's up to you if you want to listen. Is your money going up and down? Is your love life being not so clear? Is your job situation looking a little murky? Are you feeling irritated with the same old fucking person or people or places or things? Okay, you got to look at that introspection and honestly ask yourself, how am I treating myself on the inside? And that will be reflected on the outside. What do I have to weed out? What do I have to starve? What do I have to come to terms with? What do I need to forgive myself in? How can I forgive this other person? How can I move on and allow new love, new money, new opportunities to come in where it actually can hold and stay and grow? You can't contradict yourself to the point where you can. You can do whatever the fuck you want. But just know, as soon as we contradict ourselves, which I'm guilty of as well, as soon as we contradict ourselves, there's going to be a roller coaster ride. There's going to be a seesaw effect where it's up and down. And, honestly, we can't be that surprised because it's going to reflect whatever's going on the inside. So again, it starts with self. When we look at ourselves and we're being real, we're getting rashes on our skin. We're getting stomach issues. We're losing our hair. Our body's going to show us what's not correct, what's not a vibrational match to what we deserve, right? The higher frequency, we all deserve that shit. Tap in, zone in, lock it in, okay? You deserve it. You deserve the best because you are the best. A lot of people don't think they deserve it, and they have guilt written all over their fucking face because they don't know how to say sorry. They don't know how to take accountability. They don't know how to get help because they want to be correct all the fucking time and control everything in their lives until something crazy happens, where a health issue happens, a job loss, whatever the case may happen. And then they start waking up and be like, oh shit, I've been living a fake ass life to appease people, to feel some sort of ounce of love from somebody that's not even really fucking love, because how they treat you is not love. That's not love. That's the love we've been taught. And then we make excuses for them and be like, oh, well, blah, 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 blah. And then we wonder why we're going through shit that we really don't need to be going through like that. It's your choice. Do you love bliss or do you love bullshit? Do you love being needed and wanted and needing to fix shit? Or for the sake of knowing this person is in your life, for what? What are you really benefiting off of this? God's love is so perfect to the point where I'm looking at people, I'm like, in a healthy way, you are replaceable. You know what I'm saying? In a healthy fucking way, because you are not my end all be all. I don't care if you're my blood. I don't care if you're my partner. I don't care if you're my friend. Because ultimately, God's love is so innately perfect that it's very easy for me to walk away from people, places, and things now that don't resonate. I don't care how much information you know about me. I don't care how many secrets that I've entrusted into you to know about me. I can let love in again with somebody else that's actually real love and a higher frequency of love, which innately is real love compared to what I've had. And it can mean a lot more in a different way because there's levels to shit. We're not here to go backwards, y'all, unless you want to. But I just very much so encourage everybody to look in the mirror and ask ourselves, what do we truly desire, and what resonates with the higher frequency? Isolation is healthy. I encourage it for everybody. I encourage people to discern and understand what is worth your time and energy and frequency in your mouth. Because if people are not reciprocating a beautiful high vibrational love, cut that shit out. Let them go. Let them do what's best for their journey. And do not try to fix shit. Do not appease anybody and people please and be a fucking doormat or a simp, because you are not here to do all of that bullshit. If you are meant to experience that, it's only for you to grow from it. But if you're choosing to stifle your growth, that's on you. You can't blame nobody but yourself, and you're going to be blocking your blessings. I think you deserve beautiful, beautiful, beautiful high vibrational blessings. Get out of your own way. Love yourself more and more every single fucking day. And if you need or would like to explore any ways in which that you can do that, hit me up, tiarachancelcoach@gmail.com. I got you. We can make an appointment. Peace and love, y'all. Take care of yourselves more. You deserve it. Enjoy your day. Bye-bye.